Hi, my name is David Fleming from Disciples Ignited, and we are studying Gems in John, devotional thoughts throughout the Gospel of John. Now, we've just studied about how Jesus fed the multitudes. He fed them over 5,000 people with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And then he sent his disciples to go to the other side of the Sea of Galilee, where they rowed all night long. And then they encountered Jesus walking on the water. That was dealt with in the previous 2 videos. But what happened right after that is revealing. Jesus reveals the real reason that the masses were so tenacious in following after him. Let's read about it in John chapter 6, starting with verse 22. I'll be reading it to you from the NIV. The next day, the crowd that had stayed on the opposite shore of the lake realized that only one boat had been there and that Jesus had not entered it with his disciples, but that they had gone away alone. Then some boats from Tiberias landed near the place where the people had eaten the bread after the Lord had given thanks. Once the crowd realized that neither Jesus nor his disciples were there, they got into the boats and went to Capernaum in search of Jesus. But the next 2 verses are very telling. When they found him on the other side of the lake, they asked him, "Rabbi, when did you get here?" Jesus answered, "Very truly I tell you, you are looking for me not because you saw the signs I performed, but because you ate the loaves and had your fill." So Jesus really just hits the nail right on the head. He reveals what motivated them so strongly to follow after Jesus. It wasn't because they were seeking him for the eternal life that he was teaching them about. It wasn't about the eternal kingdom that he was teaching about. It was all because he fed them. Otherwise, they were more interested in the temporal, the physical blessings that Jesus was blessing them with, than the eternal life, the eternal things that Jesus was offering to them. So we see here the temporal versus the eternal. What was more important to the masses? Most definitely the temporal. But before we start judging them, let's look at ourselves. Jesus does offer us that which is temporal. He is our provider. He blesses us. He lavishes us upon us those temporal things that aren't going to last long at all. But the one thing that he offers us that no one else could give us is that which is eternal. He is the living bread. Yes, he fed them real bread miraculously, but he was teaching them that he was the living bread that came down out of heaven. Y'all, it's time for us to eat of Jesus and be filled with him, be filled with his life, for what he gives us in eternal bread, no one else can. Think about that. Why are you following Jesus? Just for the temporal blessings or for the eternal blessings that only Jesus can give you? Join with us tomorrow. We have some more wonderful thoughts from the Gospel of John to share with you. So I'll see you then. Bye-bye.